last time we talked, it was on the 2-year anniversary of the war in eastern Ukraine, about a mile from Russian forces on the front lines. A lot different environment here without artillery coming and going. As this has developed since I last saw you 6 months ago, how has the war changed in your view?
Thank you so much. Can I answer Ukrainian?
Ideally, English is English crowd, but we'd love it.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's right. Thank you so much. As I said already, that in Kharkiv, it was a very difficult situation. Putin wanted very much to occupy us quickly. Thank you so much for bipartisan decision of the package. And it was it was very important for us, this package in Congress, to equip our brigades. But always we have this challenge that from the moment of decision to the moment of equipment, you need much time. And of course, Putin understood and understands. So he has this information. He wanted to use this pause in more than half a year pause in Congress with decision. That's why he wanted to occupy quickly Kharkiv, where 1,500,000 people live now, very near to the border, but they live. And he attacked them each day because he wants to make a chaos there and push people to run out. That is the goal for him. He did it at the very beginning of the war. He did it. He tried to do it with a capital, and people stood strong. That's why we saved our capital, I think, in our country. And so he tried, coming back to your question. So he tried to occupy Kharkiv. We lost some villages which are through the border, our border, but people, God bless, people have been saved, and we took people away, and all people, pensioners, different people. I mean, this because you know that he's not looking like yesterday, the day before yesterday, he attacked, and it doesn't matter for him whom to kill, soldier or a child, civilians, doesn't matter. That's why, of course, we moved people from these villages, and he didn't have success. God bless and help, and also our soldiers, of course, first of all, our heroic guys. So we stopped them. He couldn't do. He lost a lot of people. I'm speaking about thousands of people. So the price of this operation for him was very high. That is what been changed after our last meeting. Yes. And on the east, situation is difficult. We're still waiting for some equipment to equip brigades. So as I said, really, it's not a secret. We have 14th Brigade, which are till now not equipped. Yeah, so that's why we don't use them. But I hope that everything will come, especially after NATO Summit. We'll have some additional packages with air defense and etc. So that is situation shortly. You see, maybe in Ukrainian I can answer shortly. If you want, I will. If you want, I will. Oh.
I do want to say that we're all really saddened by those devastating attacks,
Yeah.
especially on the Children's Hospital in Kyiv. And I can hear in your voice how much it hits you, especially as a father.
You know, for me, it's, it's always for everybody. I think it's very sensitive. I'm the father. I'm the president. I'm a human. Yeah. So it's so difficult. It's so difficult to lose people. it's so difficult and to lose children. And of course, you know, you see these people, you see parents, and then when their children are dying or dead, so it's you want to kill Putin at this moment. And of course, all of them, all of us, we want it very much, really, because he's not. I think that he's not. He's at this moment maybe he's drinking something. He's not thinking. For him, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't. For him, it doesn't matter what's going on in Ukraine. So the attack was, what is the tragedy? It was not attack on some, you know, military object or something like this, and something was not good with a missile or something. No, the missile was exactly to the hospital. It's not the first time, and that's why. So you have such emotions.
Do you think that it was meant to strike the day before the start of the NATO Summit?
NATO, that his signal. That's his signal to the world, to all the people. That the signal to NATO countries, to all our allies. This is the signal. He will live this way, and he will do this way.
Last year, during the early part of this year, your air defenses were defeating about 80% of the Russian air attacks. And I know the air defense systems, as you mentioned, are arriving after this 6-month delay. But I'm wondering if you're able to return to defeating as much of the Russian air attack as with the systems as you were once doing, now that these new systems are on the way.
So, again, thank you very much for decision of these additional 5 systems of Patriots. They will help. They will help, of course. It's not enough. It's never enough. And you saw the result: attacks on Kiev, on the capital, which been, I mean, this defended well. So, but you saw that this is not enough, and it can be enough. And these 5 systems will help a lot, but it will not be enough. Because you know that we have to understand that the Russian army, they learn, they study each day. They are trying to attack systems, to destroy Patriots. They don't have success in it for today, but it's not enough. They use different missiles, different drones, ballistic, etc. So I mean that, and we have not also to stay, yes, at the same place. We also have to move, to make strong steps with air defense, different kinds, modern one, and etc. So,
yeah, you're hopeful. But let me ask you this: the U.S. though continues to restrict the U.S. ATACMS from firing at targets inside Russia, and the restricting the long-range U.S. HIMARS from firing inside Russia unless an attack is imminent on Kharkiv. Can you just provide the audience here some sense or some understanding of what these restrictions mean for your forces and their challenges as a result to conduct an effective campaign against Russia? Some of these bases, air bases, include the one that launched the attack on the Children's Hospital yesterday.
yes. So, of course, we have permission to use HIMARS through the border, especially on Kharkiv and east and north of the country. Is it enough? Of course not. It's only a little number of those troops and bases which from where Russia uses missiles and from where Russia attacks us each day. For example, if you take the example of Kharkiv, so they use per month 3,500 guided aerial bombs. 3,500. Do we have? Of course, can we use Patriots or something similar? For example, yes. But can we? No. Because we don't have so many missiles. And the world doesn't have to use, doesn't have possibility to use 3,500 missiles of Patriots just to defending. That's why you can't use such weapon against it. How they use these guided bombs? Using jets, where the jets stay on their bases. Do we know these bases? Yes. Do we know all of them? Yes.
Would you want to strike them?
Yes.
But you're not being allowed to.
But we can't. But somebody except us have to say yes. Yeah. Yeah. Just stay on the distance from our border from 150 kilometers to 1,000. But mostly what is very important, from 150 to 500 kilometers. That means that if we have this very special weapon, some of them we have, and if we can use it on the territory of Russia, especially on these military targets, if we can do it, of course, we can defend civilians, hospitals, schools, children. We can do it. Because the guided bomb is the difference between guided bomb and missiles. Of course, missiles can go 2,000 kilometers, yes. But thousands, they don't have thousands of missiles. But they have thousands of such guided bombs. And guided bombs, they can use 100 kilometers. That is the answer. If we can use such weapon on the distance to, as I said, from 100 to 500, we can manage this problem, and children will live, will be alive.
Are the restrictions also you can't strike inside Crimea?
I hope no.
But you don't know?
But I don't know. Because to say to you honestly, and I have to do it, so we can't use everything. Everything? You will understand my English, yes.
Yes.
We can't use everything and everywhere in Crimea. You understand?
Let me ask you another question about Crimea.
Yeah, please.
Will you negotiate with Putin over Crimea if it would end the war?
He will never stop. I think he will love this idea very much, because he need pause in this war. He need pause. That's why I said he's waiting for November. Maybe the policy in the United States will change. I hope that it will never change, and it's very important for him to understand and to know. It depends only on decision of American people. It doesn't depend on any one person. You understand? And that's why he's always waiting how to divide world, how to divide America, how to divide different countries in Europe. He afraid of unity. And he needs pauses. To speak about Crimea, that the pause he need. He had Crimea. He occupied it in 2014 Crimea. Did he finish? No. Did he stop? No. Then he occupied Donbass. Now he's speaking that he needs Crimea and Donbass, and that's all. He's a liar, because he had it before full-scale invasion. He had it, especially Crimea and Donbass, the part of Donbass. But he had it, and he began full-scale war.
You say everyone is looking towards November.
Yes.
How closely are you following the day-to-day politics here in Washington and in the U.S.?
I think sometimes we are closer than you, Bret.
I don't know about that.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but we had to do it. We know a lot of things, not everything. Yes, and of course, it's not about our any messages to be influential. No, this is the choice of American people, and we respect it, of course. But we are trying to understand what will be, because our people, all the changes in the United States. If they will have one or another direction, if the direction will not change, or if something will change, our people, they're afraid, because you have to know that you are the biggest strategic partner of Ukraine, the biggest the first one who helped us at the very beginning of the war. Because at the very, very beginning, we've been alone, and it was very difficult to us to survive. We did it, and then your help, and after your messages with your help, was very strong message to Europeans. And you joined them, and it was very important. That's why, of course, we have to understand what's going on.
Yeah. So obviously, there's a lot of focus since the last debate on whether you and other leaders have confidence fully in President Biden's mental capability of handling national security crises and the war in Ukraine. I'm not going to ask specifics about that, but I want to turn it to how do you think Vladimir Putin views President Biden, and how do you think Vladimir Putin views former President Trump?
Putin.
Yeah.
So you mean that what is his attitude to Biden and what his attitude to Trump?
From your point of view.
He doesn't love America. And he hates Ukraine. And because he hates democracy. And Biden and Trump are very different, but they are supportive democracy. And that's why I think Putin will hate both of them. I think so. But I think that both of them have to understand it, not to count on his attitude, because the GDP of United States 10 times bigger than Russia, and it means that you can't attitude to Putin as he is a partner. He's small, really small, but when we afraid him, he began to be bigger. And that is the mistake of all the West, including us, including the United States. That is the mistake that during last 25 or how many years he is Putin. Yeah. So we always gave messages, all the West gave messages that he is the partner, he is the big, he is leader.
The Biden administration has put restrictions on you as far as what you can do. Are you fearful of a Trump administration and what that means for you in this war? Do you fear former President Trump, if he's president again, would pull out of NATO? Do you fear like that everything would shut down as far as support for the U.S., for the Ukraine war?
I don't know who will be the president of the United States.
Neither do we.
Yeah, I hope that that United States will never go out from the NATO. Otherwise, the world will lose a lot of countries, because such people like Putin. We will lose small countries which count on America in NATO, American leadership. We will lose Baltic, Poland, and other countries which are very sensitive to this topic. And I hope that United States will never seriously think to go out from NATO. I think so, but it's it's not my decision. I'm just sharing with you my thoughts. And I hope that if people of America will vote for President Trump, I hope that his policy with Ukraine will not change and will not change.
You don't think he can solve it in one
I,
day?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know very well him. You know, I don't know. I had meetings with him, and we had good meetings when he was the president, but we didn't went. I don't know. Maybe I'm not right in English, but we didn't went through the war with him. And only during the war you have to understand: can you count on somebody or not? Because even me, I had a lot of, in Ukraine, I had a lot of friends. At the very beginning of the war, some of them, we lost some of them. We lost them because they found another land for them. It's their choice. But this is, that's during the war, another situation. You face another situation, very difficult, very challenging period. That's why I can't tell you, that what he will do. If he will be the president of the United States, I don't know. That's why I wanted very much. I heard his messages, and some messages yesterday in Twitter, yeah.
X, yeah.
They've been very, very with questions. That's why sometimes we need answers. For us, it's very important to hold the situation in Ukraine on a high level of morality of our people, not to lose unity through the people, not to lose unity through the partners. That's why sometimes these messages also beat us and divide us. That's why we're afraid of some risks.
Right. And I asked you this when I was there about, the population in the U.S. that feels like we've spent too much money and we're doing too much. And we talked about that when I was on the border. Right now, is the goal still to take back all of Ukraine to the 1991 borders? Is that still the goal today? Or could you see a negotiated settlement that ends this war for you and your people?
The best way, of course, after the first peace summit, to organize and prepare the plan and to organize during some months the second summit and to have this document and to put Putin by majority of the world, to put him and to push him to stop the war. This is the best way. And when we speak about territories, you have to know that, first of all, of course, we need to save people, nations. And that's why, and of course, we are not NATO members. We don't have such, umbrella. And that's why we need Putin to lose. We don't want him to be on our territory because anyway, it's a frozen conflict. And it will depend on years when he will prepare and come back again with invasion. He will do it. You understand?
So, yeah, of course, the Munich agreement didn't work. 1938, a potential agreement you're saying with Putin may not work.
Oh. The document with Hitler didn't work. Why it has to work second time? I don't know. I think he loves the process. That's the problem. He loves the process, and it doesn't matter what occupied. He loves the process and the process, and this is his history, and he will do it to one country or another, to occupation with military occupation or political occupation of Belarus, like he did it already, to divide Georgia, and for today to begin, and he really began to change their direction from EU direction again back to Russia. Now he's doing. We love Georgian people very much, and I hope that it will not be this way. It will not finish this way. But he loves this process. So it doesn't matter when. The question is who can stop him.
Two more things. President Biden gave you 31 Abrams tanks last year. What happened to those? Did they make a difference?
I'm not sure that such number of tanks can change the situation on the battlefield. It doesn't depend on decision of President Biden. He gave a lot of different weapons, which helped, and etc. So I mean that it's like the dialogue about F-16. Right. You know, it's like about to speak that that's great, the powerful decision to give Ukrainians F-16. To give what number?
There's coming this summer, right?
I hope so. You know, we always wait. Like my mother waited me after school, and I always found the reason how to come later. This is the same, but much more serious. Much more serious. Yes, the problem with F-16, the answer is the number and the dates. But to be honest to each self, not to speak just, we have the decision with F-16, stop, make a pause. Russia uses 300 jets on the territory of Ukraine, 300 jets. They have more, but they use 300 jets. We have a decision about some 10, 20, even if we will have 50, it's nothing. They have 300, we need, because we are defending, we need 128, this is the fleet. All these numbers our partners have. So till moment when we will have 128 jets, we will not, compare with them in the sky. Anyway, it will be difficult.
Last thing, here in the U.S., overwhelming majority of people are very upset at the current political situation. They don't like their choices. They are upset about the political uncertainty, if you ask them in polls. I can only imagine what it's like to be a foreign country on the other end in the middle of a war. Do you tell the American people that this war currently is at a stalemate? And what is your message that we have to stay for the long haul, and why?
This is the long dialogue. Yeah, really. I think mostly people understand that we are defending not only our country, not only our people, common values. We have the same families, we have the same understanding of the life. We are very, very fighting for freedom. And I think that people of the United States from the very beginning, they understood us. And the moment, as I said previously, that Putin will never stop on Ukraine. And you will see it. If we will not stop him, he will go further. He will go further, and he will go to the NATO countries. He will want to show that he can. He has to sell this information to his society. He will go to those countries who are members of NATO but being the parts of the Soviet Union. He will go there, and his ambitions. And after that, the people and soldiers of the United States will go and will defend these countries. And it's tragedy for everybody to lose people's sons and daughters. And that's why I think till the moment Ukraine is strong, all the world pay a low price. I think so. maybe I'm not right. But who wants to check? I'm not sure that is a good idea. And again, so a lot of, if to be pragmatic, Brad, so during the war, of course, we increased a lot of technological progress, and with cyber, and with drones, with sea drones, and etc. So, United States, when they gave us weapon, they took from us all this, all our knowledge and all this experience. Of course, we shared all these technologies with the United States because we are partners, and I think you've got it. A lot of companies and etc. And a lot of companies in the United States, they really had and made a big progress in production because the government of the United States pushed there and gave them money and a lot of contracts. So I think it helped. If it's to be pragmatic. So I think so. I think you are doing very well. But maybe it's those people who don't understand it now. Maybe it's okay. It's their choice. But they will understand it. They will understand it in the future. That the United States made a really right choice, made really to save democracy in the world, and this decision is making now on the territory of Ukraine. It's true.
President Zelenskyy, thank you so much for the time.
Thanks so much. Thank you, Brad. Thank you very much.